In this video I will show a little about what is called chasers or effects. In this system there are no queues and no queue lists, so there is no way to program a chase which goes through a queue list. There's only an effect engine. Let me first show you a few effects. I will not deal with color, so I'll use only white here. This knob turns up the amplitude of the effect, whatever effect is running on this fixture group. Notice that it is a percentage of how deep the effect goes from the current maximum. When the amplitude is on 0, then there is no effect, and the amplitude of the fader, the intensity of the fader, is the maximum intensity of the effect. There's no running effect. I'm making the effect deeper and deeper, and when it's 100% it goes all the way to black. And if you turn off the intensity of the fader, the effect is still running, but with 0 maximum intensity. I think you got it. So this is something which you can always change on a running effect. It's always available for you, and you can make very subtle. Let's make a different effect. I'll do it quick, and later I'll explain how to make it. So I just programmed a new chase, or a new effect, sorry. You can see that you can make very subtle effect and make it deeper later, and this is something I control a lot during the show. I don't record presets with the effect depth. I change it in real time. So, as I said, this system has no queues, so this channel, which is now assigned to one fixture group, is also kind of a programmer. When you select the channel, you go into the programmer of this fixture group. And this is the modulation tab. And you can choose here, let's turn on the depth of the effect so you can see what's happening. So you have a few predefined patterns of effects, all, odd, even, some swipe up and swipe down. Now, these effects are all synchronized to a bar. So if you do the odd even, it's easy to see. This is the tap tempo. So this means that it synchronizes the duration of the effect to half a bar. Let's make it quarters. And you can make it eighths of a bar. All the effects in the system are synchronized to the same master tempo. And all effects currently work in a loop of 1 bar. Now this effect I call it a BarSequence, and you have a smooth fade between the steps. There are steps to this. You can see actually the steps of this in a matrix, but we'll not go through it now. But what I want to show you, let's make it slower, that you can control. Well, it's difficult to explain, so I'll just show you. You can make the effect shorter in duration, the illuminated time shorter. When this knob is at maximum, then there is, how do I call it, smooth fade in and fade out through, and no black space. Well, there's little black, but I can take it out by lowering the amplitude. Now the peak of every fixture intensity has a high peak, and the high peak is synchronized with the beats. Now the peak currently is symmetrical. Every lamp is going up and down in a symmetrical way. You can control the peak and make the peak at the beginning, so it starts by flashing and then fades out, or you can reverse it and then it goes out in a flash. You can put it in the middle again. You can control the curve of this fade between steps. Let's make all of them. So now we have kind of linear up and down modulation. This makes it more, well, sharp, you can say. Or you can make the other one, then the black, it goes to black in a sharp instance and instant comes back. This is symmetrical curve control. If we go to odd even, then you can see a nice thing I can do with asymmetrical curve control. And so that the fade in and fade out are opposite to each other. So you can make this kind of effect, which is kind of a whoop, whoop, whoop. The other way around, if you turn it all the way, it becomes a simple chase. But I like making things more elegant. Okay. There's also a different kind of effect. It's very similar, but it's called a trigger, because this is really a step sequence where I get a trigger from some outside source, so it's not synchronized to a bar. It's like a chaser with sequence steps, and the trigger advances the sequence to the next step. You can get the trigger from a tempo. Let's see all. So this. It's okay. Let's take that down. Okay. So this is kind of similar to the bar sequence when taking the peak all the way to 0. Let's make it slower. I use this not always with tempo. I use audio triggers, and then I can use a source like the bass drum or snare where I put triggers on the drums. I got here a simulation. I can simulate a bass drum. Let's use the tempo for now. The nice thing here is that you can control the decay, make it very short or very long. But if I'm getting it from a bass drum, then I want the duration to be automatically calculated. And well, what's happening? Okay, next time. We'll do this next time. Okay, sorry. Yes. So now the fade goes, it automatically changes. If I change the decay, it automatically calculates the timing between bass drums. Now it's tempo, but if I use bass drum, it will calculate it, and it will make the fade go to 0 exactly when the next bass drum is coming. So if I turn up the tempo, okay. This is the auto decay feature, and I have this knob which controls a factor on top of the measured auto decay. So I can still make it very short. But if I put it in the middle, then it will take care that the fade goes to black right before the next bass drum. That's kind of fast. Let's make it slow. Now if you have an odd even, but you don't want so much black, then you can just turn up the factor on the measure duration all the way up to 2 times the measure duration, and then you get much less black. Okay, that's it for now. Just want to show you again that when you go out of this programmer of this specific channel, you can still always shut off the effect by turning the amplitude to 0, or of course turning the intensity off, and then all the lamps go off. That's a little bit about intensity effects. Maybe I'll show you just a little bit about presets. I go back here. Let's store this. Call it OE for odd even. And let's have something like this, and store it something that goes right. And now just showing you that you can load different effects by just loading the presets. And now these are not cues, these are, if I said this is a programmer, so these are presets on the programmer, and whatever you change, okay, maybe let's make another, like if I change all these parameters, like something in reverse, then you can see that the parameters are changing when I choose a different preset. Sorry about that. Got a little problem with the button indication. But after you load a certain effect, you can always tweak it very easily. Even during the show, just choose the channel, tweak it a little. Okay, that doesn't look so good. And go back. If you tweaked it and you want to update the preset, just store, oops, I stored the other one. Anyway, I just want to show you that as opposed to cues, these are presets on the programmer, and it's very easy to change any parameter. I want to make it now shorter, make it shorter, but I want a different chase. Okay, and this is too short, so I make it longer again. It's very dynamic. You can change the effects during the show and tweak them exactly to how you need them at the moment. That's it for now.